Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, Republican frontrunners held nothing back in last night's debate. We'll have the recap.
And North Korea continues to raise concerns about global safety. We'll tell you what they're doing now to raise eyebrows.
And the first Friday of the month means the National Jobs Report is out. We'll tell you how the economy did last month.
All that and more.
Citrus TV News starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm Monica Hammer.
And I'm Alex Amico in for Michael Tricarico. SU has named a new vice chancellor and provost. That's our top story tonight.
Big news for the university. Michelle Wheatley has been named vice chancellor and provost here at SU.
Wheatley has an impressive background, including a PhD from Birmingham University in England. She's previously held the role of provost at West Virginia University.
Speaking on her nomination, Wheatley says, "My journey as an educator, a scholar, and a researcher has been driven by quality and access, values that are well aligned with Syracuse University."
Chancellor Syverud strongly welcomed her, saying that she was the ideal person for the job. Student Association President Aisha Sadat described Wheatley as a driven leader while also being personable and relatable. Wheatley won't assume her new role until May 16th, but there's a welcome reception for her this Monday at 3:30 in the Life Science Building. Yesterday, architecture students and professors congregated in Slocum Hall to celebrate the illustrious career of a legendary professor, Bruce Abbey. This is a retirement party for the ages, and Citrus TV's Noah Wolf was there covering the event and has the story.
Professor Bruce Abbey certainly has left his mark on Syracuse and the architecture community after a 25-year tenure at Syracuse. With his retirement looming, the students and staff in the program were quick to honor his work with an extravagant dinner and gallery walk. Despite the recognition, Abbey stressed that the event was just as much about the architecture program as it was about him.
It's not so much about me, but it's an attempt to help make the school even better.
Abbey taught and inspired his students in multiple ways, and they were quick to sing his praises.
He's, I would say, arguably one of the fathers of architecture in the School of Architecture at Syracuse University. He single-handedly brought the ranking up to being number 2, followed by Cornell.
With so much great work over such an extended period of time, choosing his proudest accomplishment was no small task.
It's hard to answer. I was extremely delighted to be Dean of the School of Architecture at Syracuse, which was a job I wanted and one that I thought I did very well.
With all of his success both teaching and practicing architecture, Abbey is certainly leaving big shoes to fill. Some of the people I spoke with said that it couldn't be done.
Difficult question to answer. Nobody could really fill those shoes. It's a different way of thought, and he's just an exceptional person.
He certainly is. The event was a heartwarming send-off for a very deserving man. After such a successful career, Professor Abbey certainly has earned his retirement. For Citrus TV News, I'm Noah Wolf.
A tractor-trailer driver is dead after his truck flipped on I-81 early this morning. According to state police, the truck was coming from Albany when it crashed in the town of Onondaga, causing the left lanes of both northbound and southbound sides to close. Police identified the driver as a 38-year-old from Long Island. And a post office worker is pleading guilty to theft. Sheila Fulmer admitted to the crime after she was observed sorting through mail and stealing people's personal items. Fulmer stole more than $6,000 worth of gift cards and cash. She faces up to 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
Orange After Dark is screening Toy Story tonight. The film is part of the Flashback Friday series airing in the Gifford Auditorium of HBC. Doors open at 11:30. The Pixar adventure begins at midnight.
And DanceWorks is taking over Goldstein Auditorium for the next 2 nights. Their annual showcase goes on at 8 p.m. Citrus TV reporter Shruti Marate takes us behind the scenes. And after the break, a recap of last night's GOP debate.
And O.J. Simpson could be in hot water again. We'll tell you why. Don't go away.
Beautiful day around campus. There were a few snow flurries earlier in the day. Luckily, those have all moved out in some clear skies. We're here for this afternoon to get us some warmer weather. The nice sun warmed it up definitely. Is there more snow on the way, or will these nice conditions stay? I'll let you know coming up after the break.
If you see news happening on campus in Syracuse or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom at 315-443-1177 or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Staring contest!
You still got it.
I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Surprise!
Preventing wildfires. That's all Smokey wants for his 70th birthday.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
The Republican presidential candidates took to the stage in Detroit last night, and it wasn't pretty.
The debate aired on Fox News with anchor Megyn Kelly moderating, the first time Kelly has come face-to-face with Donald Trump since their feud.
Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, who still trail behind Trump in the polls, attacked the billionaire businessman on everything from his healthcare plans to his hand size.
Neurosurgeon Ben Carson, who did not attend the debate, formally suspended his campaign just moments ago.
Next up, the Democrats will get their turn. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders will have their next debate this Sunday on CNN.
And more voters are going to the polls this weekend as both Republicans and Democrats have caucuses in Kansas and Maine, with a primary in Louisiana.
The Democrats also caucus in Nebraska, while Republicans caucus in Kentucky and hold a primary in Puerto Rico. Bernie Sanders is campaigning in Illinois today and then holding rallies in Nebraska and Kansas.
Hillary Clinton is following Sanders' trade talk in Michigan yesterday with an event on jobs and the economy in Detroit today.
President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama will stay in Washington, D.C. for a couple of years after his presidency. A president has not remained in the city after leaving office for decades.
With their daughter Sasha still in high school, the Obamas plan to stay in D.C. until at least 2019 when she graduates. And developing in the last few hours, the LAPD are reporting a knife has been found at O.J. Simpson's former home in Brentwood.
Authorities say they cannot confirm the knife was related to the 1994 killing of Simpson's wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and Ron Goldman.
Investigators never found the weapon used in the double murder. Evidence suggested it was a long serrated knife.
Simpson was acquitted of all murder charges in the high-profile case in 1995. After the UN voted to impair North Korea's nuclear program, the country is firing back, literally.
According to their state news agency, North Korea test-fired a new multiple-launch rocket system. Officials are unsure if it was the same launch of short-range projectiles that were reported by South Korea the day before.
Nuclear warheads need to be ready to use at any time, said North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
Authorities in Spain have seized a shipment of 20,000 uniforms and supplies meant for terrorists. The supplies were hidden in shipping containers and declared as second-hand clothes in order to pass through customs.
The containers are being shipped to areas in Iraq and Syria controlled by ISIS and other terrorist groups. Authorities reported that 7 individuals were arrested in connection to the shipments.
And investigations of government corruption are underway in Brazil. Former President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva was taken in for questioning this morning.
Officials are looking into the leader for ties with a scheme involving the national oil company. The scrutiny comes amid great discontent among Brazilians with the corruption at every level of government.
The current president is also facing impeachment charges.
Well, March has certainly come in like a lion.
How long will this cold stick around? Citrus TV News weather anchor Brendan Tierney has the answer.
Yeah, it's been cold, windy, and even a bit of snow in here to begin March. Luckily, we have some warmer weather on the way. We take a look at our national temperatures here. We'll see some warm building to our south and west. That's luckily going to move up our way. So other parts of the country are already above average. We're a little below it, but not until early next week. Things will be changing a little bit. Taking a look at your surface map, you can see that we had a low pressure system and a cold front that moved through overnight. That definitely brought through a bit of snow that I was talking about earlier. Luckily, that's out of here, and we have some high pressure that's in control that should be here over the weekend. So nice dry weekend is on its way. Taking a look at tonight's conditions, 16 degrees will be our low, mainly clear with a bit of winds gusting through. Luckily, it's going to be calm for most of the evening. So if you're heading out, bundle up, but it's not that bad overall outside this evening. And then taking a look at your Citrus TV 5-day forecast. See, this weekend pretty cold, but it gets much warmer as we go into next week. 33 Saturday, 39 on Sunday. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, beautiful weather outside. 51 on Monday, 61 on Tuesday, Wednesday, 60 degrees. There's a chance for some evening showers coming through.
So, Brendan, we're seeing a lot of warmer temperatures coming up next week. Is spring finally here? Are those going to be sticking around?
I don't think it will be sticking around quite yet. Good news is we get out of here when some snow might be returning for spring break, but there's a bit of a chance of snow and some colder temperatures after that rain Wednesday evening.
Now, Brendan, we know this year on Groundhog Day, Punxsutawney Phil told us there would be an early spring. Did he lie to us?
I don't think he lied to us. Spring doesn't technically begin until April, so I'm a big believer in Punxsutawney Phil. I trust what he's saying.
And you know, Syracuse University spring break is coming up soon. For students who are going to be still in the area, who aren't going home or anything, what kind of temperatures are they looking at? I know it's a little far away, but what can you tell us?
It is. We're seeing mid-40s is what we should be expecting. A chance for some snow overnight when it gets colder at night when the sun's setting, but not that bad if you're staying here around campus. Definitely not the 80 degrees you're seeing down in Florida, however.
So we're clear for snow for a little bit?
Until mid-next week, yeah, definitely.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Coming up, how one airline got their name in the record books.
And I'll catch you up on all your entertainment buzz. We'll be right back.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised.
Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
The weekend, usually, is a time to relax and unwind from the pressures of work and school. Unfortunately, the weekend is also a time for many people to abuse drugs and alcohol. Listen to the words some people use when they talk about the good time they had over the weekend. They say, I went to a party Friday night and got plastered. Or, Saturday night, I was really wasted. Maybe they didn't have such a good time after all.
This message furnished by the NCAA.
Huntington! Every proper bear knows that the right fit means everything. Especially when it comes to car seats.
Oh, really? I just did what any bear would do.
So know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size.
I like it.
To learn more, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, where's that bear?
Health experts are pitching in on proper oral hygiene. One doctor suggests replacing your toothbrush a couple days after recovering from illness. Toothbrushes should be regularly replaced every 3 or 4 months, and covers are not recommended as they provide a closed, moist environment for germs to settle. Scientists at the American Heart Association conference presented data that shows people in some professions are unhealthier than others. The scientists measured factors like obesity and blood pressure as a result of unhealthy habits. Salespeople are struggling to eat healthy, while administrative support staff do not get enough physical activity. Perhaps the most shocking, 90% of police and firefighters in the study were overweight or obese. The unemployment rate stayed at 4.9% as the U.S. economy added more than 240,000 jobs in February. The job gains surpassed expert predictions of 190,000 added jobs. An additional 70,000 jobs were added compared to January numbers, quieting concerns of an economic recession in 2016. And a new record for the longest nonstop commercial flight by distance has been set. Emirates Airbus A380 completed a flight from Dubai to Auckland, New Zealand, almost 9,000 miles. The route is expected to reduce travel time between the two cities by 3 hours. The flight in total took 16 hours and 24 minutes. And now for all your news from the entertainment world, let's send it over to Monica for Hammer Time.
An autopsy has revealed the cause of death of Bobby Christina Brown. A medical examiner says the cause of death was immersion in a pool of water and drug intoxication. Brown died last year in July after 7 months in a medically induced coma. She had been found unconscious in a bathtub. The autopsy had previously not been disclosed because state officials wanted the results to stay private due to an ongoing investigation. And if you're looking for something to do this weekend, the box office now has some new options. Gerard Butler's flick London Has Fallen is now in theaters. The sequel to Olympus Has Fallen also stars Morgan Freeman, Aaron Eckhart, and Angela Bassett. Also showing is the newest Disney movie, Zootopia. The animated movie has a 99 rating on Rotten Tomatoes. If neither of those do it for you, the highly anticipated Tina Fey film, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, is also in theaters this weekend. And Texas Senator Ted Cruz can add another supporter to his bid for the White House, but the celebrity endorsement might surprise you. Reality TV star Caitlyn Jenner publicly praised the candidate, calling him a great constitutionalist. Jenner admitted Cruz's stances on LGBT issues are troubling. He opposes same-sex marriage and trans-friendly bathrooms. But the TV star hopes to be an ambassador to the White House if Cruz wins the election. And George Clooney's film career could be reaching its final point. In a recent interview, Clooney said that no one wants to see anyone his age, and roles for him are decreasing. While Clooney hasn't officially retired from the big screen just yet, he may already have another career on his mind. Clooney said he would like to explore directing more, saying it's his great love and he enjoys it a lot. And Elton John wants to teach his children how to work for success. In a recent interview, John said that he will not be leaving all of his fortune to his 2 sons. John explained that he earned his success and fortune through hard work and wants his children to do the same. He also said that the boys are already learning to earn rewards by working at home. That's all for Hammer Time. Now to Kevin Ryans with sports.
Thank you, Monica. Coming up on sports, Syracuse plays arguably its most important game of the season. I have a preview of the QC matchup with Florida State. Plus, the women's team gets set to kick off postseason play. We'll take a look at Coach Q and the team as they prepare for NC State. And an update on SU men's lacrosse as it plays its first ACC game in Charlottesville. CitrusTV News will be right back.
Teacher, let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore. And frustration, a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from,
but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
One quick update on the men's lacrosse game. It's 7-6 SU over in Charlottesville, and SU looking to go to 4-0 on the season. Now moving on to tonight's sports, Syracuse women's basketball kicks off postseason play tonight when it takes on NC State in the ACC tournament. The Orange look for its first conference title since joining the ACC in 2013. Since an 18-point loss against number 14 Louisville on January 25th, the Orange has been humming along as she comes into the ballgame with 9 straight conference wins. Coach Quentin Hillsman's team closed out the regular season with a 71-55 victory over Boston College a week ago and received a 3 seed in the ACC tournament. The Cuse is also ranked number 17 in the country, the highest in program history. Meanwhile, Syracuse basketball is not the only team participating in postseason play today. Syracuse ice hockey played its first game of the CHA tournament this afternoon against Penn State in Buffalo. The Orange looks to grab its first conference championship this weekend. If the Cuse wins, they'll probably face CHA rival Mercyhurst, and if the Orange win the tournament, they will appear in its first ever NCAA tournament. Syracuse is 3-0 all time against Penn State. Moving on to men's basketball, Syracuse has a huge matchup coming up against Florida State tomorrow afternoon in Tallahassee. SU look likely needs to win this game to secure a spot in the NCAA tournament. Not only does this affect their spot in the field of 64, Syracuse, Pittsburgh, Clemson, and Virginia Tech all entered the final day of the regular season with identical 9-8 conference records. So a win or loss would affect its seeding in the ACC tournament next week. It's possible, though, with a little bit of help, any one of those 4 teams can be a 5th seed in the tournament. In order to beat the Seminoles, Coach Boeheim stresses the importance of hitting their shots.
Again, I think we did enough offensively. If we'd have just made a couple, we need to make a couple more. You know, we're not going on the road and beating North Carolina making 5 for 20 from the 3-point line. That's something. I mean, it's almost surprising to be in the game.
Elsewhere, the Rangers take on the Capitals tonight in Washington. New York will like a nice bounce-back win to end its road trip. Last night in Pittsburgh, the Blue Shirts lost 4-1, and it's going to be a tough one. It'll be the Capitals. The Caps tied an NHL record for most wins through 63 games with 47 after a 3-2 win Thursday night over Toronto. And looking over in some baseball scores, the Mets and the Yankees played today. Go to the Bronx Bombers force. They lost 3-0 to Detroit this afternoon. Looked like it was a nice pitching outing from pitcher Brian Mitchell. Looking for him to do well in the starting rotation. New York has lost 2 of their first 3 spring training games. And then also, you look over in the Mets side, the New York Mets tied today against the Miami Marlins down in Point St. Lucie, 4-4. Steven Matz did not play in the game. It was Logan Verrett who pitched. Steven Matz is on the picture, though. 2 innings pitched, but for Logan Verrett, 2 hits, 2 runs, and 1 earned run. And the Mets are 0-1-1 so far in spring training play. And finally, despite Carmelo Anthony's feelings, the Knicks move on to Boston tonight to take on the Celtics. Think about it. Just a month and a half ago, the New Yorks just sat a game and a half behind Boston for the 8th and final playoff spot. Now on March 4th, the Celtics are tied for third in the Eastern Conference, while the Knicks are third from the bottom of the East. The Bockers have lost 15 of 18 games, while the Celtics are rolling along, winning 15 of their last 19, including 12 straight at home.
Kevin, it's one of my favorite times of the year because baseball is finally back.
Oh,
Spring
yeah.
training started. What are you going to be looking for out of the Mets this year as they look to repeat as National League champs?
Well, of course, that rotation is amazing. You got Harvey and Steven Matz is a young kid who's going to be coming back. Wheeler, I mean, he was out last year with Tommy John surgery. He's going to probably come back into that rotation and do really well. Of course, Noah Syndergaard in the middle of that rotation as well. So, I mean, the pitching rotation is going to be big, and then getting Cespedes back was good for their lineup.
And bringing it back to Syracuse men's lacrosse, what can we expect from the team this season?
Oh, well, they're 3-0 so far this season. They just, they had a lead over in Virginia. So, it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the season goes, but they're picked to be one of the best in the country. So expect maybe an ACC tournament bid if they are the top 4. And if they make a nice deep run, they could probably be a national championship contender as well.
And looking over at hockey, it's a tough game for the Rangers tonight. Go Caps! What's going to be key? What's going to be key for them as they try to beat the Capitals?
Definitely Henrik Lundqvist has to be. It can't lose his cool like he did last night. He took off the net and no one knows and anything. But he has to keep his cool, and also they got to get good play out of everyone, trying to score goals and just keep the composure the rest of the season. Because I think it'd be a very good team, especially the last few years. The way they play in the postseason, they're an excellent team.
Kevin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And when we come back, what to wear when you wake up tomorrow morning.
Stay with us.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
So, Brendan, when we wake up tomorrow morning, what should we be wearing?
Definitely want to bundle up. We're talking upper teens, low 20s in the morning. It's going to be nice by the afternoon, though.
So if we're going out to a viewing party for the basketball game, still need to bundle up, or?
It should be a bit better. We're talking mid-30s by afternoon, 2 o'clock for the big basketball game, final regular season game of the season. So it should be a good afternoon.
All right. Thank you, Brendan.
Thank you.
And now for a necessary cute animal video to get your weekend started. A video of a doctor cradling a crying shelter puppy has gone viral.
The doctor says the puppy had just gotten out of surgery and didn't like the feeling of the anesthesia. He comforted the puppy by holding it and singing to it, which resulted in what's probably the cutest video ever.
The shelter realized how cute this was and released a picture of the puppy with his new family. And that's all for our show tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Up next on OTN, Q's Countdown, followed by Syracuse Unpeeled. Stick around for that. For Brendan Tierney and Kevin Rhines, I'm Alex Amico.
And I'm Monica Hammer. Have a great weekend, Syracuse.